I'm Patrick Bailey with IQless.com. Today is August 22nd, 2019, and this video will be going over showing a new print that I just made called Garage. It's hard to name this thing. This is the best I come up with in a short period. A garage corner bumper for your car door. And I'm finally back. So for those of you who may have been watching some recent videos I've done, in those videos I was mentioning that we were buying a new house and moving in, and we are kind of finally past the first stage of moving in. And also, my beard is gone. So that was part of the plan. I was kind of growing that beard out for fun, and my plan was, once we move in the house, I'd kind of trim it back to I'd cut it all off and go back to what I'm used to, just a small kind of goatee thing going on. But, like I said, I haven't been able to do videos. I'm just starting to get back into videos finally again. So hopefully, my ideal is trying to do 3 videos a week, but I don't think that's going to happen for a while. I'll be lucky to do like 1 a week, 1 every other week for a while, because there's still we're past the first stage of settling, but there's a lot of stuff to do in a new house, as I kind of thought, but also there's more than I thought there was. So there's all kinds of little things, but we're settling, then we're moving, yay. So first up, one of the nice things about moving this house, and I thought this would happen, and it is happening, I got problems. Problems that I think I can solve with 3D printing. And so I've got a couple I'm working on the back of my head. I got stuck on one and kind of got really stuck. And I may come back to that. It has to do with curtains. But this one came up, and I was able to bang it out pretty quickly, and I'm pretty glad with the result. So the problem is, in the garage, it's probably easier to show my idea book. So I wrote down some little ideas while I was doing this, just to... the idea is, in this garage, and maybe you can probably tell in this picture, but you'll see further on this video, it's an odd-shaped garage. So I have a 2-car port, but halfway up, it angles off. So you can see this picture that I have drawn of a car. So when a car stops there, and they open the door actually will hit the sharp edge. And it's the passenger side. So I figure eventually my kids are going to get out and not think about it and slam it pretty good, and I might end up with a little line there. So I thought, let me go print something out and stick it on there and make like a bumper. And also, since I love putting magnets in things, I wanted to put magnets in here because pretty much, I don't know if there's many exceptions, but pretty much you can go test your walls. Most of the corners, I don't know what it's called, but they'll put a corner little piece of metal there that kind of runs the whole length, and so you can magnetize it to it really easy. So that was my idea. So, and also with this, I wanted to try something else because I do like embedding magnets in 3D prints, and for a final product, it's great, but when you're experimenting or you're fiddling, if you do a test and the test is unsuccessful and you want the magnets, they're 80 cents a buck, going to get it back out. So now I got to saw the thing out. So I thought maybe I can put something in there where I could put the magnet in and screw something on to keep it tight. And so I can keep switching it up. And so that's what I did with this as an experiment. But also I kind of liked it so much that I'm just going to keep it with this because this doesn't need to be too pretty print because in your garage. So with that, let me go over the details. Okay, so I've got these things up on Thingiverse and on Prusa. So this happens to be thing 3824079. And on Prusa, it is 5255. In fact, I think you can erase that and just do the number. Hopefully. Okay, cool. So there it is. Garage corner bumper for car. It's hard to make a name for this. So this took about 8 different iterations for me to get it right. So I have all this stuff that I've been printing and trying, which, is a good thing. The 3D printer was originally made to do quick experiments, to try things out really quickly because it's a lot faster and cheaper than CNCing something or something like that. So, don't go for perfection the first time. Go for an idea because then you get it in front of you and go, well, that's a bad idea. And so you don't, keep trying and iterating and trying new ideas out. But anyway, so there it is. I also, if you go look on here, and there's a picture of it hitting my door, I've got several different STL files. So I tried it at different angles. So I tried at 45, which wasn't quite right for us. Although it worked pretty well where it actually would bump up and still be okay. For me, 40 degrees worked, but I actually put a couple more out there. So there's a 45, 40, 35, and a 30. So you can see what angle works for you. But anyway, and I also did some other experiments with this because I wanted open up Fusion 360. And I designed this in Fusion 360. So I like the idea of embedding magnets, and I do that a lot. But sometimes when I'm embedding magnets through experimentation, which I was doing recently with some not coat hangers, some, not drapes, window treatments, whatever they're called. Curtains and stuff. I was trying some of that stuff. And since I was embedding the magnet, I kept using magnet after magnet. And so the only way to get them back is I got to cut them open, and that takes time for the failed process. So I was using another idea on this. I wanted to make something, and you can see here, I was making a hole where I can drop the magnet in, and it's got another hole all the way through on the end, so I can more easily pop it out, and then just screw something on to hold it. And so that's what I did with this, and it's working pretty well. So the only thing about this is, the thread, the bolt, printing it like this works really, really well. The threads always turn out great. But when you're printing at different angles, and in this case, the best way to print this was upright, the threading can get a little funky. So it's good until it gets to the top, then it gets a little bit, iffy. And so for that, let's see. So for that, so when you do this, if you print this out, the top is a little bit rough. So when you drop this in and you put this, you thread it on, you want to kind of work the threads because you want to get them really good. So I'm kind of doing like a quarter turn going down, quarter turn going back and forth so that I can really thread it because it's not done perfectly well. But if you do that a few times, by the time you do that, then it works just great. Even though the top looks a little funky, it actually it works great after that fact. So, let's see. So there I have it. So I got the different angles up on Thingiverse, and then I've already printed them out, but I just want to keep showing Prusa control and Prusa and the Prusa slicer. Now the Prusa control is no longer being updated, but I still think it's simpler. Until they do some more things with the Prusa slicer, it's still just a simpler thing. So what I've been doing is I just pop this on here, and I'm also doing the bolt at the same time because it's easy enough. And if you're going to do this in Prusa control, I'm just doing 0.2 to do it fast, standard 20% infill, and generate. And that's pretty much all I'm doing, pretty simple, and print it out. Works just great. And let that go. And then in Prusa control, same thing. I'm dropping the bolt on, and then dropping my 40-degree angle on. I'm just arranging it so. And I'm not doing anything special here. I'm 20% infill. I'm not doing any settings. And I'm just saying, oh, you're done over here. Okay, you're done over there. And I'm just saying slice now. And it works just fine. And once it's done, then I'm just exporting the G-code, which I already did. In fact, I uploaded the G-code for a 40-degree angle on the Prusa site. And it's working just fine, but I still like the Prusa control simplicity. The Prusa slicer is good, and I think it'll get better. I mean, on the simpler side, the Prusa control doesn't have more controls. But anyway, you'd save the G-code or export it, and print it all out. And with that, here's a video of me printing it, and let me go over the details. So this took 3 hours and 47 minutes to print. And that's printing both of them together. It used 3.3 cents worth of electricity, and that's based on 10 cents per kilowatt hour. And it weighs 0.058 kilograms, and that comes out at $20 per kilogram. This comes out to $1.16 just for the filament itself. But it also has a magnet, and the magnet, I chose to use a more powerful one, and that one costs about $1.20. So this total thing costs $2.39. And it's working pretty well. So I've actually printed 2 of them out. And I'll go in the garage here in a minute and show you what's going on. And I just stuck them on there, and it's working just fine. And hopefully, it'll keep our car door from being dented. And also, you could put some padding on this. You could stick something on. I'm probably not, but you could definitely easily just stick a pad on there to give you a little bit more cushion. No show. The magnet. And here is. I'll put a show to this in the show. A link to this in the show notes. This is the magnet I used. On Amazon, it's $11.98 for 10, so it's about $1.20 per, but it's a more powerful magnet than the lighter one that I usually use, which was about 80 cents. This is $1.20. The other one I use sometimes is about 80 cents. So with that, I think it's working great, but let me go show it in action in the garage. Okay, so here we are in the garage. I already got one of these installed, so I'll show this again now that I have a camera crew going. So, there it is. Just kind of drop that big magnet in there. And like I said before, I've already worked on this one, but when you screw this one in, at first, because it's not a perfect, you kind of help thread it a little bit. So you kind of just you got to work a little bit, and it's going to be harder than that. And mine's smooth now, but just kind of go bit by bit, work it until you get it all the way down. And then you tighten against it, and then now, compared to that, it's all in there pretty good. And then, oh, I did the wrong one. That's the old one. My slight tweaks. See, that's the advantage. This is the old one I was using. That's why I kind of made this so I could pop them in and out. Okay, pop that one in. And I marked them on the bottom, so this one's 40 degrees. And I can just, there's a big metal bar there, so I just put them in. And I'm going to try to do 2 and see how well that works. We'll see if we can get a good shot on this. And then, so that should, make it less sharp than what it is. And right now, the other day, my wife parked a perfect angle, so it just hit perfectly. But right now, you can see it's not quite perfect, but it'll bounce it. It'll bounce it and it goes right back. So if you're off by just a few degrees, it seems to work just fine. And then one guy came by today and he suggested that I could, put some padding on there. So it'd be pretty easy just to take some pad, some foam, tape it on, and you're good to go. Now I'm not suggesting slamming this door, but hopefully, compared to a sharp edge, I think this will be a lot better. Hey, if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, hey, give it a thumbs down. Also, if you like what we're doing here, subscribe to the channel by clicking the subscribe button. And lastly, have a piece of info to share? Just post a comment.